You're tired. Not the kind of tired sleep fixes. The kind that sits behind your eyes. The kind that follows you into silence. The kind that whispers, "What's the point?" You've tried. Again and again and again. You started with hope, real hope, the kind that made you believe this time would be different. You worked when nobody noticed. You sacrificed things nobody applauded. You stayed up late chasing something you couldn't even explain to people around you. And still, nothing. No breakthrough, no recognition, no proof that any of this is working. Just more effort, more waiting, more silence. You watch others win while you feel stuck in the same place. You scroll past success stories that make it look easy. Overnight success, instant growth, smiles, celebrations, results. Meanwhile, you're fighting battles nobody sees. Sleepless nights, staring at the ceiling, conversations with yourself at 2 a.m., doubting whether you were ever good enough to begin with. You wonder if you started too late, if you chose the wrong path, if maybe you're just not meant for this. And the hardest part? You keep showing up anyway. But lately, even that feels heavy. Because when effort doesn't produce results, the mind turns against you. It says, stop. Rest forever. Quit before you embarrass yourself again. And right now, you're standing at that edge. The edge where quitting feels reasonable, logical, safe. This moment right here, this is where most people disappear. Not because they lacked talent, not because they lacked potential, because they got tired of working without witnesses, because nobody was watching, because nobody clapped, because progress was invisible, and they mistook silence for failure. Listen carefully. This is the moment that decides everything. Not the victory, not the recognition, not the day you finally make it. This moment, the one where continuing feels impossible. Because winners are not created when things are exciting. They are created here, in obscurity, in repetition, in lonely rooms where effort echoes back at you with no applause. You think success is built in front of crowds. It isn't. Success is built when nobody is looking, when there's no validation, no encouragement, no guarantee. Just you and the work. You want motivation, but motivation is fragile. Motivation shows up when you feel good. Discipline shows up when you don't. Motivation depends on emotion. Discipline depends on decision. And emotions lie. They tell you you're exhausted when you're actually evolving. They tell you you're failing when you're actually learning. They tell you to stop right before momentum begins. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline says, do it anyway. When you're sad, do it anyway. When you're doubting yourself, do it anyway. When nobody believes in you, do it anyway. Because discipline is the bridge between the life you have and the life you claim you want. You think pain is a warning sign. It isn't. Pain is evidence. Evidence that you're stretching beyond comfort. Evidence that old versions of you are breaking apart. Growth is violent. It tears away habits. It challenges identity. It forces you to confront limits you didn't know existed. And every time you feel that resistance, every time it hurts to continue, you're standing at the border of transformation. Most people retreat there. You must advance. Nobody is coming to save you. Let that sink in. No perfect opportunity, no magical mentor, no sudden rescue. There is no moment where life knocks on your door and says, "You've suffered enough, here's success." That moment does not exist. And strangely, That's your freedom. Because if nobody is coming, then everything depends on you. Not luck, not timing, no permission. You. Your actions, your consistency, your refusal to stop. Right now you feel weak, but weakness repeated becomes strength. Every day you show up despite resistance, you become harder to break. You become dangerous. Not loud, not arrogant. Dangerous through consistency. The kind of person who keeps going long after excitement fades. The kind of person who cannot be defeated because quitting is no longer an option. Dangerous people aren't fearless. They just decided pain won't decide for them anymore. Think about everything you've already endured. The early mornings nobody saw, the late nights nobody thanked you for, the sacrifices nobody understood. If you quit now, all of that disappears into nothing. Every struggle becomes unfinished, every lesson wasted, every version of you that fought to survive erased by one decision. Quitting doesn't just stop the future, it rewrites the past. It turns sacrifice into regret. And deep down, you know something terrifying. You wouldn't just lose the dream, you'd lose respect for yourself. So breathe, slowly, because this next part matters. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need confidence. You don't need certainty. You only need movement. One action, one task, one small act of discipline repeated daily until doubt loses its voice. Progress is not dramatic. It's boring. Repetition, routine, practice when it feels meaningless. But that's where mastery hides. While others chase excitement, you build endurance. While others wait for inspiration, you build identity. You become someone who works regardless of emotion. And once that identity forms, nothing can stop you. You've been measuring success incorrectly. You've been looking for results instead of transformation. Results come later. Identity comes first. Before the world believes in you, you must behave like someone worth believing in. Not occasionally, daily, especially when nobody's watching. Because character is what you do when applause is impossible. There will be days when you feel invisible. Days when effort feels pointless. Days when the voice in your head screams louder than your ambition. On those days, lower the standard of perfection, but never lower the standard of showing up. You don't need greatness every day. You need consistency. Small effort compounds, tiny progress accumulates, and one day, without warning, the work that felt invisible becomes undeniable. People will call it sudden. They will call it talent. They will call it luck. They won't see the years you worked alone, but you will know. And that knowledge will make victory unshakable. Right now, you're forging resilience. Every uncomfortable repetition strengthens mental muscle. Every moment you refuse to quit rewires who you are. You are not just chasing success. You are becoming someone capable of holding it. Because success without discipline collapses. But success built on suffering lasts. Let the loneliness sharpen you. Let rejection focus you. Let doubt train you. Stop asking why it's hard. It's hard because it matters. Easy paths don't transform people. Struggle does. Pressure does. Responsibility does. You are being shaped by resistance, and one day you will thank this version of yourself for refusing to stop. Pause. Right here. Ask yourself honestly, if you quit today, will peace follow or will regret? Because quitting doesn't silence the dream. It just turns it into a ghost that follows you everywhere. In quiet moments, in ordinary days, in every what if you try to ignore. You already know the answer. That's why you're still here. That's why you haven't stopped yet. Something inside you refuses to die. Protect that. Feed that. Trust that. You don't need permission to continue. You don't need validation. You don't need proof. You only need a decision. A decision that no matter how slow progress feels, you will not betray your future self. You will not abandon the person you're becoming. You will do the work, even when no one's watching, especially when no one's watching. Because those unseen hours are sacred. They are where confidence is built quietly, where skill develops honestly, where discipline grows roots deep enough to survive storms. The spotlight reveals greatness, but darkness creates it. One day, people will see the results. They'll see strength, clarity, confidence. They'll ask how you became so focused, so resilient, so unstoppable. And the answer will be simple. You kept going when quitting made sense. You worked when motivation disappeared. You chose discipline over emotion. Every day, every time, without negotiation. This is your turning point. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Right here in this uncomfortable moment where continuing feels hardest. Because transformation doesn't begin when life becomes easy. It begins when you decide difficulty is no longer an excuse. You don't wait to feel powerful. You act, and power follows. You don't wait for belief. You build belief through action. You don't wait for the world to notice. You become undeniable. Stand up mentally. Straighten your posture. Breathe deeply. Feel the weight you've carried. Now understand something profound. That weight didn't break you. It trained you. Every hardship added endurance. Every failure added wisdom. Every disappointment added depth. You are not behind. You are being prepared. And preparation often feels like punishment, but it isn't. It's construction. Brick by brick, day by day. Invisible progress stacking beneath the surface until suddenly you rise. Not by accident, but by accumulation. So here is the truth you've been avoiding. You already know what to do. You don't need another plan, another video, another burst of inspiration. You need execution. Relentless execution. Work when tired, work when uncertain, work when nobody notices. Because consistency turns ordinary effort into extraordinary outcomes. Right now, somewhere, someone is quitting. Someone with talent, someone with potential, someone who almost made it. They stopped because results were slow, because doubt grew louder than discipline, because nobody was watching. Don't be that person. Let others quit. Let others surrender to comfort. You continue. You build. You endure. This is where you become different. This is where you separate yourself from the version of you that almost gave up. Not through motivation, through decision. A permanent one, a non-negotiable one. You do the work, no matter what. And when exhaustion returns, because it will, remember this. You are not working for today's reward. You are working to become someone unrecognizable from who you were. Someone stronger, calmer, unbreakable. Someone who doesn't need motivation because discipline has become identity. So start now. Not later, not after you feel ready. Now. Take the next step. Do the next task. Finish what you began. Because this is not just another attempt. This is the attempt that changes everything. The one where you stopped negotiating with fear. The one where excuses lost authority. The one where you decided your future matters more than temporary comfort. No applause, no audience, no guarantees. Just you and the work. And that is enough. Because greatness is not born in crowds, it is built in silence. And tonight, in this moment, you make a choice. You keep going. You keep building. You keep showing up until effort becomes momentum. Momentum becomes mastery, and mastery becomes destiny. So move. Right now. Stand up. Take action. Do the work even when no one is watching. Especially then. Because this is not the moment you quit. This is the moment you become unstoppable.